What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'm going to talk about who I am. Who's Hayden? Who am I? What do I do? What don't I like? What am I doing? What am I up to? What are my future plans? What am I about? Let's go in. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. I hope you were enticed by the title. I just realised I'm just coming up to 1,000 subscribers whenever you are watching this at the moment of doing this video. And I realised that perhaps there's some people that follow me that I appreciate you a lot more than you would ever know, by the way. Every single one of you. Some of you might not know who I am, like what I'm about, who I am, what my future plans are, what I've done in the past, what I believe in, what I believe about relationships, what I believe about business, what I believe about all this sort of stuff. I just thought it would be quite interesting for you to get to know me a little bit more. And then obviously, hopefully you guys can leave some comments, you guys and girls can leave some comments below and sort of let me know. Oh, I need to look at the camera because someone had a go at me the other day. Not a go at me, they just said that it would be best if I looked at the camera. So yeah, thought it would be good for you to get to know me a little bit more, and then you can let me know more about you in the comments below if you want to. So yeah, let's dive in. So where should we start? Where should we start? I think that I'm going to start right back from sort of where it all began for me in the sort of business world. Now, obviously not everything's about business, but most people follow me on here for business sort of stuff. But just before that, let's dive into sort of where I grew up. So I grew up in the UK in a place called Tunbridge Wells, which is in Kent. I don't live there anymore. I recently moved out of Tunbridge Wells, but I used to live in Tunbridge Wells just a few months ago, and I was there for about 24, 25 years. So that was where that's where I grew up. Nice town, nice place. As for my parents, my dad is an art dealer, and my mother is a nurse. Was a nurse, she's retired now. We sort of lived, I think we moved when I was about 13, 14, something like that, and we moved to a sort of ex-council house. My parents divorced, sorry, I forgot to say that. They divorced when I was about 2. So we moved to an ex-council house when I was about 13. Lived in a nice flat before that, but it was me and my 2 sisters. We lived in we sort of, my mum bought an ex-council house with my old stepfather, who's no longer around actually. And yeah, so that's sort of where we grew up. An okay neighbourhood, nothing amazing at all. But at the same time, it wasn't the worst place in the world. It was okay. There was a bit of trouble there, but nothing too serious. But yeah, by no means did my parents have loads of money at all. A lot of the time, my mum probably struggled to actually you know provide fully, just because obviously she had so many children to look after. Yeah, so that's a little bit of background there. As for when I first discovered that I had the potential to be sort of an entrepreneur, or I had some sort of entrepreneurial tendencies, I think the first memory I have of that is when I was in school and I used to go to Tesco, and I used to get the Tesco, oh, look at the camera. I used to go to Tesco Value and buy these chocolate Swiss rolls. Chocolate Swiss rolls for 30p. I think it was 30p, about 20 or 30p. And then I used to sell that. I used to put about 6 to 8 of them in a bag, in like a refrigerator cooling bag or whatever. I don't know why I needed one of them. And then I used to smuggle about 6 or 8 of them into school, and I used to sell for £2 each. So you can see why. I've done a lot of e-commerce. Buy low, sell high in the past. That was a bit of arbitrage there at school. I should have focused more at school, there's no doubt about it. I should have focused more. If I'm honest, I was too sort of premature. I was too early for school. I wasn't interested in it whatsoever. I didn't see the importance of it. Obviously, I understand the importance of it if you want to go into a professional career like doctor or anything like that, but I'm not here to talk about that sort of stuff. I was definitely a lot smarter than the grades that I got, but it was simply a case of me not willing to put in the work, and I suppose I didn't have that self-belief that the sort of normal education system and the academics, I didn't have the self-belief. So I could have got a lot better grades than I did. I ended up with, not great grades at all, but I think I got 5 GCSEs. I got my 5 GCSEs and all that, probably more than that, you know. But there was no like A's or anything like that, A stars or anything like that. It was all very bog standard grades that I got, below standard, most likely I've considered. But once again, I could have got better. I know I could have. It was A, me not believing in myself to push myself to work harder, and B, I just didn't put in the work, and it's as simple as that. I believe if I did them again now, I would absolutely ace them. But obviously, I have no interest, and hey, it's done now. Do you know what I mean? It's done now, and luckily, the career path that I'm going down and went down doesn't require GCSEs anyway. You know, starting your own businesses doesn't require it. But yeah, that's a little bit about my sort of school life. I went to college and did business studies after school, but if I'm honest, that was a shambles. That was an absolute shambles. I don't think I learned anything from that class, but I did that anyway. I can't even remember if I finished that or not. I think I did. I think I got I got that. It's not a degree. I'm not sure what you got. It's definitely not a degree. I'm not sure what you got, diploma or something like that in business. I did that, yeah. And just before I did my business, I actually went to do mechanics because I had a lust for cars. But then I realised that I definitely didn't want to work on cars, just because I was interested in them. But yeah, did business studies after that. But yeah, it wasn't anything great. Sort of felt like I wasn't making any progress. So I thought, right. I was actually working for Nuffield Health at a gym at the time, and I said, right, I've sort of had enough of this. I think I had a falling out with one of the managers that was trying to get me to clean the ceiling, and I said, well, I'm meant to be working behind the bar. You know, I haven't got a job as a cleaner. We had a bit of a falling out, and I said, oh, I'll hand my resignation in the morning, and I did that, and I haven't been employed since. I've been self-employed ever since. So, and that's when I went and started my first business, which was a gardening and landscaping business with a good friend, an old business partner of mine that I'm no longer in business with, Matthew. So we got into that, and I wasn't, if I'm honest, I wasn't too bothered about starting that business, but it just sort of, it seemed the best option at the time, maybe. If I'm honest, if I'm completely honest, my business partner put most of the effort in, because if I'm honest, I didn't have the lust for it. I didn't see the long-term potential of it, and I didn't see the long-term potential of the lessons I was going to learn about business. I was just almost, I felt like it was below me doing the sort of gardening, all that sort of stuff. But what I didn't realise is that A, that could have scaled into a huge company, and we did scale it up, but not into a huge company, into a business with other people we have working under us. But what I didn't realise is that if I focused on that, not only could we scale it up, sell it, or make enough money from it to invest in other stuff. What I didn't realise is that if we stuck to that, I could have obviously just taken all the lessons from it and been a lot further ahead now if I stuck to that. So once again, no regrets. You can't have any regrets, but yeah, I learned a lot from that. I was very, very naive back then, and probably wasn't too fair in that business partnership, if I'm honest. I wish I put some more legwork in. I wish I had more of a long-term vision and backed myself and stopped worrying about what people thought of me, because obviously there was nothing wrong with it, and it was actually quite brazen at 19 to start any business, so I should have backed myself a lot more, that's for sure. Yeah, I then went on to sort of go in and out of loads of different businesses after that time, testing the water, you know, as Gary Vee says, you know, you've got to taste things, you've got to test things, and that's exactly what I did, and have done for a long time. Tested stuff. Some people are like, oh, you can't stick to anything. Well, what's the right answer there? Do you know what I mean? Yes, I could have had more patience. Perhaps I should have had more patience. Perhaps I should have stuck to something else. But if I did stick to that thing, maybe I wouldn't have seen the potential of where I'm going to be going now. So I believe that your own journey is your own journey. That's my truth. That's just documenting my beliefs, is that I don't regret anything that I did because it was my journey. You know, you got to test things, and my God, I've tested things. So if you don't test things, you don't learn about yourself, and you don't know about yourself, you don't know what you want to do. So that's what I believe, that's what I did, and that's obviously brought me to where I am now, which is you know, things are starting to go well, you know, like, you know, I'm nowhere near, you know, a millionaire or anything like that, but things are starting to go well, and I can see things getting a lot more clearer now. And if I didn't test all the different things in the past, and by the way, I'll probably not finish testing, but if I didn't test all the things in the past, and some people thought that, oh, you know, he can't stick to anything, or maybe they didn't believe in it or anything like that, you know, screw them, you know. you've got to test things, and most people that say that are the ones that are actually, maybe they wish that they had more courage to test more things and to go after things they wanted. So yeah, that was some big lessons I learned there. I definitely, once again, it's hard to say. I could have stuck to things. I should have stuck to things. Possibly, I'll be definitely a lot more financially secure if I stuck to my first business now. But once again, maybe I wouldn't have seen the potential of where I'm going now. Maybe I wouldn't have learned. I definitely wouldn't have learned the wisdom and the life lessons that I've learned so far. So, do you know what I mean? I think I took the right path, because I wouldn't be, definitely not as spiritually or business acumen wise, I wouldn't know anywhere near what I know now about learning about myself, all the struggles that I've learned about myself and stuff as well. I would have learned different ones, but I don't think I would have been as powerful in myself, if that makes sense. I don't mean powerful. You know what I mean? Relationships. Let's talk about relationships. Some of you may be thinking, is Hayden single? Is he like with someone? I've only had one, could I call it a serious relationship? I suppose you would consider it a serious relationship. It was a couple of years. And I'm not saying that in like a belittling way or a mean way to my ex, but we were both very young, and it was sort of a school relationship, that then we just sort of left school, and we both sort of got distant from each other, and it didn't end too well, to be honest. And that's the only proper relationship I've had. Apart from that, I've seen a few girls. I've been sort of I've been sort of with a few girls, but we weren't officially going out. We were just sort of, it was sort of the pre-stage of perhaps going out, but then we didn't end up going out, so we were just sort of dating, if you like. Other than that, would I like a relationship? Yes, I would. I would like a relationship, and this is obviously getting personal, but I don't mind. Yes, I would like a relationship. I haven't got a relationship, but yeah, obviously it's just got to be the right person. It's got to be the right person. It's got to be. I don't think it's got to be the right time. I don't really believe you can meet the right person at the right time, but yeah, it's got to be the right person. Perhaps it's got to be someone that's got similar interests to me, but maybe not. They say opposites attract. So I'm sort of like, I'm open to the right person all the time. I'm always open to the right person. I try not to look for them. I try not to look for anyone or anything like that. I'm not interested in sort of one night stands or anything like that. People in the past have sort of, I think they thought that I was a bit of a lad, and they thought that I was that just not interested in a relationship and just wanted one night stand, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I think when I was younger, I was a little bit insecure, and with your mates. With mates, it was to be sort of felt like you were part of the lads. Sometimes you had to act like a bit of a lad and around women and stuff, and there was quite a lot of peer pressure when I was younger. To be accepted as one of the lads, you had to sort of always be with a girl or something like that. So I felt a lot of peer pressure from that, and I think I sort of, shone myself in a bad light for a little while because I was trying to get accepted by the lads, when actually I'm just not interested in one night stands. I never have been interested in one night stands. I've always just wanted, if it was going to be anything, it would be a relationship, something meaningful. I'm a very intuitive person, and I care about deep, meaningful sort of relationships. Anything other than that doesn't really interest me. So if there was any regrets, it would sort of be to sort of stood my ground a little bit more and knew what I stood for. But, everyone just works. We're all working ourselves out as we're growing up, aren't we? So can't be too hard on ourselves. What's done is done. I think as long as you know in yourself that you're a good person, that, and what you want, once you've learnt about yourself, that's all that matters. But yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to sort of sharing my life with someone special, obviously, that we all want in the future. But as I say, obviously you can't rush that sort of stuff. What do I love doing? My sort of passions, other than sort of business stuff. So business, I've always thought, what is the business? What is my passion? All that sort of purpose stuff. And whether you believe that or not, I'm not sure. But I do love the idea of business, and I always have. I thought recently, do I, or is it just stress? But I've always just loved business stuff, like entrepreneurial sort of stuff. I do just love that stuff. I think it would be a lot easier. My life would be a lot more straightforward. I'd probably be in a relationship right now if I didn't love it so much, perhaps. But you know, as I say, we're all on a journey, aren't we? Cars, I love cars. That drives me quite a lot because I'm into cars. I know some people are like, you know, you shouldn't be driven by material items, but cars, if you love cars, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm looking forward to getting myself a really nice apartment or something like that. I love that sort of stuff. As for passions, sometimes I just love going for, you know, I love just a day where you just know that things are going well, you feel free, and then you can go and like have a mooch around the shops, go for a nice day out, go for food, go meet some friends. Nothing too amazing, nothing too. I love the idea of travel. Like I did a few weeks around Europe, driving around Europe a couple of years ago, and I loved that. I'd love to do some proper travel. And especially once I do have a girlfriend in the future partner, then I would like to make sure that we go on constant trips. And now, you know, like as soon as we're out of this corona stuff, I'm going to be going on regular trips. I'd like to be travelling 3 or 4 months of the year, really, so dotting in and out. Especially when I meet a partner as well, that'd be awesome to do that. So yeah, definitely like travel, cars, business, and just generally sort of making time for family and friends and enjoying life as well. I do like a bit of a night out as well, I'll be honest. Health and fitness is very important to me. I love my health and fitness. I'm at the gym 5 or 6 times a week, not in a weird, freakish, obsessive way. I sort of work in the gym on the computer as well. So yeah, I'm at the gym and do the fitness stuff a lot and all the sort of bike and stuff as well. Yeah, health and fitness is very important to me. Hence why I'm starting a fitness company. I'm not sure what you call it. Fitness brand. Sports brand. That's why I'm starting a sports brand as well. But yeah, so health and fitness is very important to me. In terms of sort of the impact that I want to make on the world, things that I believe in equality. One of the things that I want to change in the world is equality and the way that everyone sees each other. I still think there's a lot of discrimination in many areas of the world, in many, all over the world. All over social media. I think social media has got a long way to go. I think it's just curving on a bit more of an accepted, it's accepting a lot more people, and I love all these posts on social media where these girls are doing, you know, like a pose that shows them in a certain light, and then they're showing another picture next to it, which is like reality. You know, just to make other girls feel better about themselves and guys as well, you know, I just mean it as an example. I love that. I'm really into equality, and that's obviously what I want my new stuff to be about as well. And this, you know, yeah, I'm not trying to drop in anything to do with the brand. You don't even know what it's called, so I'm not trying to obviously, what's it called? Seed anything there. I'm just saying that's what I'm going to be bringing forward to the brand, because I really care about equality and all that sort of stuff, and everyone being equal, because that's what I do believe. I believe everyone is equal. You know, CEO that's worth 100 million is worth no more. Like your own worth is worth no more than a cleaner on £6, £7, £8 an hour. And you know, always staying humble and all that sort of stuff. I believe in that fully. And as I say, everyone is worth the same. I've never been one of these people that's obsessed with like celebrities or people that are famous. If I saw like Gary Vee, I've been following him for a long time. He's got obviously millions of followers. If I saw him, you know, obviously outside, like, and people are running up to him and stuff, I would see him in no more of a, oh my God, it's Gary Vee. I just don't do that, you know. I would see them the same as, you know, my neighbour. I would see them the same as, you know, everyone, like a family member that I see all the time. That's what, you know, that's just how I look at things. Everyone's equal. There's no better or worse or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, I want to make a difference in the world. I know that's quite a, you know, everyone says that. But yeah, but I'm still figuring out what my thing is, and I think getting equality through what my work and what I do is going to help me do that and help me impact millions of lives. I just don't know what it's going to be yet, but I know that it's coming. But in the meantime, obviously, there's only so much impact one person can make, so you've got to enjoy your life at the same time, and making sure that you can benefit your family and friends around you, whether that's just you being who you are or you helping them in other ways, whatever. Obviously, that's an amazing thing to do, help your family and friends, and just enjoy life. If there was one thing, as I say, no regrets, but if there was one thing, if I had to say I regret something, but if there was one thing that I had to say that I wish I had more of earlier on and now, is just that self-belief. Like that self-belief, I just wish that I had more of this, or at least what I have now, I wish I had this some time ago. And that means self-belief in terms of not only business but personal life as well. I've never been that confident around sort of women. If I've really struggled to let a girl know if I like her or something like that. I've always struggled with that, so I end up just not saying anything. Like when it could be a potential partner, do you know what I mean? Or business, like I've always struggled with that self-belief. Can I actually do it? And some people would find that hard to believe. They'd say, yeah, but you start, you try loads of things. I do try loads of things, but that's more because I feel like I have to, because, I'm sort of driven from another place. Self-belief is something that I'm constantly working on. I'm constantly trying to get more confident in myself and sort of know my worth a bit more, sort of trying to know my worth and know who I am and how much I am worth, and sort of knowing what I can bring to not only business, but, a relationship or something like that as well. Knowing my worth is something that I'm constantly working on. But, no one's perfect, so we're all working on ourselves. But yeah, looking forward to the future. I always like to stay as positive as possible, and looking forward to every part of the future. I feel like the future is really, really bright, and I do feel like obviously the future is what you make it. So I'm really looking forward to the future and progressing some more. So I hope you enjoyed that video, everyone. I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Please make sure you subscribe if you have enjoyed that. I'm sure unless you are subscribed, you wouldn't have watched me dribbling about myself for the last however long this video is. So anyway, I'll see you on the next video.